everyone. I'm Rachel Brugman and the Operations Manager at Saugus TV. And I'm here today with Saugus 411 Committee. And we have Corinne Riley, Donna Sordello, Jean Swanson, and Acting Superintendent Michael Hashem. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
So the first question I'd like to ask is for Corinne. What is Saugus 411 and how did it begin?
Well, a few years back, I had gone to an event at Wakefield called Wakefield 101. And what it was the Chamber of Commerce there had invited all the newly moved in residents from Wakefield and gave them all the information about their businesses and all that in welcome bags. And you walked through, it was at the BB Library, and you went up and downstairs, and there were all kinds of tables of information for all different things through the town. And I just thought it was a great idea. So when I pitched it sort of to Saugus Chamber of Commerce, we really don't have an acting chamber. So I had to go about it another way, especially, asking businesses for things to put in this bag. So it ended up that I went to the Board of Selectmen and the town manager, and I told them the idea, and they were both all in support of it. So our first one was last year, and we sort of kept the business aspect out of it, except to put in business cards or take out menus, anything from local businesses to put in these bags to the new residents that show on Saugus 411. So that's the basic of how it happened and how we got it. And again, it's just bringing in nonprofit organizations, youth groups, places of worship, and to get them all in one place so these residents that are invited last year would just walk around and find out what Saugus was all about. This is a little different this year because we're making sure that everyone knows that everyone's invited, whether you've been here 1 year or 40 years, to come see what's going to be offered. And that's
So when is this event, the 411 event, and where will it be?
This is going to be October 14th at the new middle high school complex, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it will be indoors, obviously, but I think Superintendent Hashem I'd like to have him, I think there's going to be a football game, correct, that morning?
I don't have the calendar right in front of me, but if there's a football game, it would be right there on the field's right there now.
Right, yeah, I believe that Mrs. Monto had said there was going to be, I believe, a JV game at 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's nice, too, that's part of it. And there will be tours of the complex as well. So it'll be at there, and, and then people can see the building.
Great. So, Donna, how do you think new residents will benefit from this?
Well, I think the best part about it is all the information that they need about the town is all in one. It's right there, all of it. Mm-hmm. And there's just so many different, like Corinne said, the nonprofits, the youth sports. There's going to be the all the different clubs, like the garden club, and the library will be there. And there's quite the houses of worship, like if you want to bring your kids down, because you can sign them up for CCD.
Oh, yeah.
The library has so many different programs, and especially the new residents. Although, like Corinne said, everybody's invited. It's not just new residents, but the new residents that wouldn't know about these clubs, they'll find out about it at that point. And the houses of worship, and then there's going to be tours of the complex. So
that's great. So who's invited to participate in the event, Jean?
Everybody who is invited to attend. It's open to everybody. Last year, we had a lot of new residents along with familiar faces who came to the complex. One thing that people really enjoyed were the tours that the students gave of the middle high school complex.
Oh.
They really liked that.
Yes.
Some people just came for the tours, and then the exhibit was like a bonus for them to see what Saugus has to offer.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of curiosity.
Oh, definitely, yes, yeah. And then people would ask the people at the tables questions about Saugus, and we could send them to different tables to get the information that they needed.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So it was very successful.
I'm glad. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. So this question is for each of you. What part of the program are you most excited about?
I can go first on that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go ahead? I think because this year we've added a few things. We have right now, not including the information tables from the district side, the school side, we have 25 that have signed up, the police, fire, the town tables and the garden club and the library, all that. So, but what is going to be different this year is that we have the Lions Club iMobile. That'll be there giving eye tests and hearing tests. There's going to be the Theater Company of Saugus, and they're going to do a couple of acts from their upcoming play, Little Shop of Horrors. So that's different this year. And the Garden Club is going to give a demonstration. I don't know what it is yet. It's a secret, I guess. But so we look forward to those new additions this year. And again, hopefully it grows every year. But those are the three things that I'm looking forward to.
Those sound lovely.
Yeah.
Anybody else looking forward to anything in particular?
I really enjoyed seeing the families, the new families, when they came in with the kids, the toddlers, especially when they went up to the fire, the police department and the fire department had a table, and they would put the fire hats on the kids. The kids had a blast. And it's just a good way for everybody, fellowship in the community, the sense of community, which is what it's all about, and learning what's there. And I think the best thing about this whole thing was that one table for the town that we're going to have that has everything you could possibly want to know about the town, including like the phone numbers, like how to get your the trash pickup, where do you go to get the stickers. What do you call them? The refuse stickers?
That's important information.
So it is. It's very important information, which isn't easy to find if you're not familiar. So it makes it easy for everybody. So I'm really excited about it. It'll be a great time, and you'll learn a lot.
Well, I know you said everybody's invited, but you're even inviting children, so it sounds like you really want children to come.
Families. They invited families.
That sounds great.
Because that was the whole thing, was people who bought. Last year we targeted people who had just moved into Saugus, who were new to Saugus. So yeah, they would bring their entire family, and it was great because they got to tour the facility. So it was a good time.
There's people here that don't know everything.
Yep.
They've been here for a little while.
We're sending out invitations to the new residents, so
That's
they'll
smart.
be getting a personal welcome to come to the
Yep.
event.
I'd go to something like that if I got an invitation. Sounds really fun. Okay, now I have a few questions for you, Michael.
Okay.
Okay, what information will you be sharing with parents to get them excited about their children attending Saugus Public Schools?
Well, I think whether information or not, and thank you for having me, I think it's a wonderful shot for members of the community to see the new facilities. It's one of those things where we opened in 2020 during the pandemic, and it didn't open necessarily the way any of us had envisioned it going to be open. We had school in a remote environment, so we never really got that grand opening.
Yeah.
And so I think if we can share the space with the community, I think that's a big part of how we decided and determined how some of the spaces, even in the building, were going to be designed. So for us in the school side, I think that it's a great opportunity to see what we have in that complex. It's a great opportunity for the families, and whether it's new families to town or families who've been here, 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, we had a football game the other night, and we had long time, football boosters coming to their first game at that field. So it's one of those, you assume that it's, commonplace to everybody, but I don't think everybody fully got the chance to embrace this as a community center, so to speak. So we have gymnasiums, we have fitness centers, we have a rooftop garden that maybe what the garden club is hinting at showing. So we have a green roof, and the gardening club is involved in that as well. So it's just a great facility, and I think it's a good showcase for people to see. As far as the information we've had, we have, and this is again new to everybody, we have streamlined and gone from many small local schools to 3 buildings. We have the old Vets, which is Veterans Memorial, which is now the Vets Early Learning Center. That's pre-K to 1, so that everybody pre-K to 1 would be going to that facility. We have what was the Belmonte Junior High when I went to it, then the middle school. Now it's a STEAM Academy and upper elementary school, and then the complex is open to students grades 6 to 12. So it's this design and this configuration is pretty new to everybody. So it's a nice opportunity to give them a sense of what's going on within the school and the infrastructure of it. I think I answered your question.
I think you did. And so what are some of the advantages that the district offers to middle schoolers who choose to attend SMHS?
Well, one of the things, and I know at first when we were designing it or on the committees to move forward with a new complex, it was going to be a new high school. Actually, it was going to be a new science lab, then a new high school, then it combined to a new middle school. And I think there was some trepidation with families as far as bringing the middle school students and the high school students together. I think, to be honest with you, I think it's worked very well. I mean, there are shared spaces within the school, but I think it's worked very well. And one of the things that has been a huge benefit for those students that are middle school is they are just as much a part of that large, big, showcase complex as the high school students are. So that's an advantage that you don't necessarily get. There's an equitable atmosphere there. So you have the middle school has access to 750 seating state-of-the-art auditorium. They have access to the gymnasium. They have access to the stadium. So I think as middle schoolers, you get that big feel element, but we've also kept that team approach. So each grade has 2 teams, as they always have, but we were able to design the middle school team unit as true teams. So there's 2 teams in the 6th grade, 2 teams in the 7th grade, and the space is designed around that team element. They've always tried to, back since it became a middle school, tried to reconfigure the Belmonte to have that kind of team, but we were able to design the building to match that need of the middle school students. So you have a group of students in a middle school team that would have their math class, English class, science class, social studies class, all in the same, what we call pods.
Okay.
So while it's a big, huge complex, there is a very small school element to it. So it's kind of get the best of both situations.
That sounds great. Really beneficial.
Yeah, it is. It's great, and you get to see, because they have one principal under the same building, 8th graders are allowed to play high school sports if they qualify for it. It also allows for a lot of, volunteering both directions. So we have, and I know this from my daughter being in the fine arts and, in plays, where they have high school students helping out with the middle school plays, and they have middle schoolers working on the high school plays. So there's that kind of, collaboration there that you wouldn't, I don't think, see, and we didn't see when there was a middle school over here and a high school over there.
Yeah, it sounds like the transition to high school would be much less scary. You've been there.
Oh, I'd imagine it would be. Yeah, I mean, they're used to the space. I mean, I have my own daughter is in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
So she's about to make that, and it's literally the 3rd floor of the building. She's on the 8th grade. She'll literally walk across the common space into the 9th grade side. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I do think that it benefits everybody.
Yeah, that really sounds like it does.
Yeah, that is a scary transition.
I know.
It really is.
It is, and I think
yeah.
I think it's very scary, and we still do that kind of step up. They get to see it, and I know the principal's going to work on trying to, have time for 8th graders to go over to the 9th grade and get a feel for it. Yeah. But they kind of already have. It's not as scary anymore because it's not that mysterious building down the street that you may have gone to a basketball game when you were in elementary school. It's now the building that you still go to and you're part of already. So again, and it's a work in progress because we're still it's just starting to be that normal again, for me anyway, that you feel the sense of everybody's coming together and they're really enjoying themselves. So it'd be great for the whole community to see this.
Yep.
So this is my last question for you, Mike.
Sure.
What information will be provided about student interests beyond the classroom?
Well, we have a lot of things, and I think I covered a bunch of them. We have sports. There's middle school and high school sports. We are working very hard. It's funny that this is coming together as we're trying to do a very similar thing with youth sports, because I think one of the things that we've noticed, and it was the same thing that you noticed, is we assume everybody knows how to get involved in the community. And I've been in Saugus my entire life, but I still wasn't sure how to sign my kid up for, Little League Baseball, because my two older daughters didn't play sports. So it's one of those things where I think it's something that we all assume everybody knows, but even as a lifelong resident, I don't think they do. So we're trying to partner with the youth and sports groups as well later on in the year to try to do that collaboration, so I think it's good for them to see it. But we have the fine arts, we have a great drama program, we have great facilities as far as that goes. One of the newer aspects that we've started to take on, and it was the principal, Mr. Sullivan, has taken on an early college program that they have now, and they're tied in with North Shore Community College, where our students can earn college credits while being high school students. So we have North Shore professors coming in to teach classes that will count both for Saugus High School as well as for North Shore, or anything that gives credits for North Shore credits. So a lot of the state schools will see those 3 credits as well. And we had somebody last year, I think, get 9 or 12 credits already towards an associate or bachelor's degree, already graduating Saugus High School with that. So those are kind of the things that we're piloting, and we're looking to expand. And like I said, we're just getting our feet underneath us as far as using the new building. We haven't quite mastered it, but we're looking for it to expand our after-school activities. I know the middle school is trying to open up a lot of game clubs and things like that. High school has, they have National Honor Society, Student Council, they have all the grade level clubs involved, they have all the sports, and the middle school has similar things. And again, I said it already, but I'll say it again because my college-age daughter would be upset with me if I didn't. We have a great drama program and a great fine arts program from the elementary schools all the way through the high school. So I think that's something that I think I really take pride in. I know our staff takes pride in it. I know it's something our community does very, very, very well. And again, we have sports programs as well, and they're doing well. But I think there's a diverse set of opportunities that I think we offer here in Saugus that may not be showcased as often as it should. And that's why I thank you all for having me, and thank you for letting me be part of the Saugus 411. I think it's going to help us. I keep saying in all my newsletters, it's one town, one team, because I don't look at us as a school system, I look at us as a community. So I think that one town, one team, I really try to live by it. So if the community needs the school's help, I'm more than willing to step in and have my students and our students help. Because again, there are kids. I mean, there are families, and the facility and the schools are just part of a bigger picture. So I like to be part of the team. So I thank you all for having me today, and I also thank you for involving me in this.
That was an absolutely beautiful statement. They're our kids.
They're our kids. They're all our kids, and I'm proud of everything they've accomplished. It's great to see them come back. It's just that's how I look at it. Yeah. And so, when I have 3 daughters. One graduated in 2022. One's a senior and one's in 8th grade. So as of right now, not only am I the acting superintendent, I've also been my daughter's softball, soccer, and basketball coach in youth. So that's kind of opened up my eyes to trying to get the youth sports more connected with the high school and middle school sports. and just form a collaboration. There's no reason for any divide.
I love that
Yeah.
you are letting the younger kids be with the older kids,
Yep,
and the older
yep.
kids help out the younger kids.
Yep.
I think that's just really phenomenal.
And you'll have students there on the day to try to help give tours. They're very excited. We had a group come in, the architects that designed the building had a group come in. I'm going to say Connecticut, but it might be Rhode Island, that are going through a new school process. And we had students volunteered, and I just kind of, I think it was in the late spring, right before the summer, and it was one of those things where I just said, "Would you give me a hand? Would you give me a hand?" And every person I asked did, and they actually, and you remember us going to those schools to look at the different buildings, and it's one of those things where I never thought we'd be the ones that were showcasing it, and we had students come. And they were touring people around, and it was amazing. I was so proud of it was the dad in me, and these weren't, not my own personal children, but they're our kids. They were given the tours. There were kids that came with the group from Connecticut, and they were showing them this and they're showing them that, and just the pride watching them, walk through the complex, and it's their building, and they're taking ownership. It's just, it's great to see.
Sounded like they have pride in the,
Oh,
in the building.
they definitely do, and it's great to see as a teacher and a parent. It's tremendous to see that all coming together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I went a little long. I didn't mean to
No,
take
it's
the
great.
floor.
Yeah, I was wondering, is there anything else you guys wanted to say about the 411 committee event that's coming up?
Well, one thing I'd like to say is last year, what I found just a positive is there were certain nonprofit organizations or clubs and walked around themselves and realized that there were other clubs and organizations that they had no idea were even in the town. So, it's even people that were just coming, to give out information about their own, whatever they were trying to get people to find information about, but they found out themselves. And again, I think, as we said, you can be here forever. And as a matter of fact, I have someone working on a sheet of questions that are social media questions, like, are fire pits legal? Or, there's just so many of them, where can you get a sticker? Where's the mattress disposal? There's certain things that always come up on there from no matter if you're here 5 years or 50, people don't know. And it's, and this is part of what I'm hoping will happen is to, especially the new people coming in, that Saugus is a great community. We have a great school system, and, they're building on it, and, and we're close. I believe we're close. And we just want to make them feel as welcome when they're new and not been here for generations.
Yeah, it's very inclusive.
Yes, yeah, it definitely is. So that's what I
Saugus
wanted
TV
to
will
say.
be there, and we're hoping to get more
Yes.
members. We'll be filming the event as well.
Great. We
Anybody else
appreciate
had
it.
anything else they wanted to share about
Well,
it?
if there's any businesses out there that want to put something in the goodie bags that we'll be providing in the beginning to the first 50 people that show up, give us a call or send, I don't know what the email is.
It's saugus411@gmail.com.
And let us know. You can drop we'll let you know where to drop the 50 items off, but we welcome any businesses to put anything promoting their business in those bags, because that's how people will find out about it that'll be there. So,
Yeah.
and tables, if anybody wants a table, a nonprofit
Yeah,
in town
nonprofit.
would like a table, email us.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the date for table cutoff?
The 10th. Is that it?
Yeah.
October 10th.
Okay, so
Yes.
be sure to get your email in before the 10th, so you
Right.
could have a table if you're a business around
I think
Saugus.
that's the same cutoff for the bags. If
the
items
bags
that you
as
want
well.
Is
put
it
in
the same?
bags.
Okay, yeah. It will make it work whenever, we have till the 14th, but we're trying to get everything done ahead of time.
Yeah.
But if I could, I would just like to thank the Saugus 411 committee for stepping up, and Mr. Hashem for coming with us too and let us know and giving us his students to do the tours, and to the town manager, the board of selectmen, and all the nonprofits, everyone that's involved in this. And like I said, I want to see it bigger and better, and maybe someday we'll have an acting Chamber of Commerce that might take it over as far as the business side of it goes. And that's something that I'm looking forward to in the future. So, but I wanted to thank everyone, because it's a lot of work, and we do it.
But we're having fun doing it.
Yeah, we do
We're
have
having a
fun
blast
doing it.
So it's exciting. It's a good thing. So bringing people together is always good.
Yeah, sounds like a really
Absolutely.
nice event. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I didn't get to go last year, but I'll be there this year.
Great, we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you, audience, for watching. And I'd love to see you all there on the 14th at the 411 event. So until then, bye-bye.